Because you went to a place that served like, what was it, like award-winning, like the Beef Olympics, right?
So yeah,
so
this I'm sure if you watch Chris's video about it, Japan has the Beef Olympics because of course they do. They do this with a lot of produce actually.
Yeah.
And every 3 or 4 years they have I don't know how it works. I assume every city brings their beef to the table and they judge which one's the best. And Miyazaki, the prefecture, has won like the last 15 years.
Yeah. To be fair, it is fucking delicious.
It is good.
It's fucking delicious.
So good.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, we had this course meal that was insane. It was just like, it was a Nobel Prize. So there's Nobel Prize winners, and this is the meal they gave them. I was like, thank God Chris is paying. The first dish came out and it's fucking caviar, and I was like, thank God this isn't my video. I'm not paying for this.
Holy shit.
I'd never had caviar before. Had it?
You had never had caviar.
You never had caviar?
Why the fuck would I eat caviar? When would I have had it? It was shit.
There must have been like one fucking fancy meal you've done where they just like added it in.
Yeah, like a tiny amount.
Like a tiny amount.
No, never had it before. I had it and I was like, this is the most meh thing I'd ever tasted.
Yeah.
I mean, did you have it by itself?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's why.
Yeah, it was all right. It was fine. It just tasted like this. Tasted like it shouldn't cost this much. Actually, okay. So in Japan, right? They don't have like the same. What's the word? Feelings towards certain dishes and animals that we have in the West, right?
Right.
So I went to this. A friend of mine invited me to a course meal in this very, very fancy restaurant.
Right.
And it was like a business meeting
In Tokyo.
In Tokyo, right? And I didn't know anything about it. I just knew that they did like really nice fusion food or something. I don't know. And there's a lot of weird foods that I've never had. And there's a lot of stuff that I haven't had because I've heard it's awful and cruel. Like I've never had whale. Have you had whale?
I've had it once.
Yeah, right.
I've never had whale.
Again,
It's disgusting.
I've never gone out of my way to get this stuff, and I'm sure you didn't go out of your way to get it either. It's just like obviously in Japan, even though the rest of the world is like, we will not whale. Japan is like, no. And there's a lot of places in Hokkaido that openly sell whale stuff, and it's very normal, right? You know, it's a different cultural thing, and is it wrong? It's up for debate. I think it's kind of fucked, but it's whatever. It's my personal opinion. It doesn't matter. It's not my country. So, go to this restaurant, and we're having these courses. And again, I don't know what's coming. I can't read the menu. It's all in kanji, dude. I'm like, I don't know what's coming out, but but everything's been good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything has been delicious, and it's like to the point where I'm like, oh, this is going to cost too much. Fuck. I'm going to have to pay for this. And it was just like a client thing. Not my client. Someone wanted to take me to some meal, and I don't fucking know. So sitting there, and then the next meal comes out, and it's like steak, and it's like, oh, it's so good. And it's like, and then the next dish was, it was like a beef cheek in turtle soup, and I was like, I've never had turtle before, but I've never had but it wasn't the turtle I wanted. I was hoping for the extinct turtle.
You didn't want a turtle. You wanted the tortoise.
I wanted the extinct Galapagos giant tortoise. Unfortunately, this was a common tortoise. So then I just felt sad because then I thought about like the Finding Nemo turtle and how cool.
Oh, was it Supon?
Yeah. It was like a turtle sauce, and I felt like, oh, is this? Do we eat turtle? Is that good? How do I feel about eating turtle? I didn't know how to. But again, it's in front of me. I didn't know what it was, and I was just like, I just ate it, and then like, oh, that was turtle. I'm like, what?
Apparently, it's really good for your libido.
I don't know.
That's like every other like.
That's like, every like Asian
rare Asian ingredient.
Is turtle common to eat?
Supon, yeah, it's common.
In Asia, but not in the West, right? We don't eat it at all, right?
No, I don't think in the
West.
West.
What team am I cheering for here? I'm like, yay, no, we don't. Right? It's common in soups, right, in Japan.
Soups and like, and like nabe and stuff, hot pots and stuff.
But that wasn't the big boy.
Oh,
the next
it gets weirder.
Okay,
dude, and this is where I was like, no, why did you bring this out?
What?
The guy brings out next up. I felt so bad. He brings out. He's like, all right, next dish we have shark fin. And no. Because because shark fin is very cruel.
Yeah,
right.
It is.
A lot of the times they grab the shark, they
just
cut
the fucking fin off and throw it back, and it can't like swim properly. So it just dies.
Yeah. It's fucked. It's such fucked. I was like, this is awful. I didn't know. If I knew I was going to get shark, I wouldn't have agreed to eat at this restaurant.
Yeah.
I didn't want to eat the shark. So we get the food, and I'm like, well, I may as well try it. right? Because it's in front of me.
Have you ever had it?
No, never. No.
Okay, so this is your first time, right?
No, where the fuck? I don't even know how to get shark in the UK if I wanted to have it. I don't think it's possible to get
true,
it.
yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
true.
really cruel. I never wanted to eat it, right? So I take a bite and I'm like, wow. For all the suffering and all the anguish, this tastes like shit.
Yeah.
This tastes so fucking awful.
It's extremely bland.
It tastes like nothing.
Yeah.
I just can't. And in my head, I'm like angry. I'm starting to get angry. I'm like, this is what we kill these fucking things over?
Yeah.
Just this part of the fish?
Yeah.
And we don't use anything else? And we throw it back in for this? And it costs like $1 million for a fucking fin? What the fuck? We have failed as a society. At least with the giant tortoise, there was records claiming how delicious it was and how useful the water sac was.
Yeah,
What
we used every
What are we
part of
doing?
the tortoise.
We used everything in the tortoise. What is this? It was shit. And so, God, I was just so annoyed. The whole dinner, I was just pissed off. I was
Well,
like,
I think it was just like the unfortunate.
I didn't know, right?
No. I mean, it's also like the unfortunate circumstances that shark fins. I mean, you say it tasted like shit. That's fine because it's like people didn't eat it for the taste. I don't think
It's like a ceremonial thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's like a
In,
ceremonial
in,
thing.
weddings
It's like
and
a
stuff,
status
right?
thing,
Yeah.
you
Status
know.
thing, for sure.
So that's
God, it
you know.
tastes so shit.
It's extremely. It's like fugu, right? It's like pufferfish. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
extremely bland, expensive, and it's purely just to say you've had it.
Yeah,
fucking
like
frustrating.
fugu, having pufferfish, it is not worth the decades of training you have to go through as a chef to become a fugu chef.
And I'm like,
I get your license.
are you seriously telling me that? Are you seriously telling me that a chef spent 10 years to cut this bitch up, and I still have a chance I could die?
I just think, when did we ever just be like, salmon is pretty good, eh? Like, when did we ever stray away from the normal fish? Who are these fuckers who are making this the hype around this stuff?
Like,
I
boys,
just-
get this: sardines.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
Who the fuck?
Pretty good.
Who the fuck is doing this shit with the sharks and the fucking pufferfish? I'm like, just give me a fucking fried chicken. Fuck, I gotta sneeze. I'm so angry. Oh fuck! I'm so angry.
Yeah, someone was like, you know what? The salt and pepper ain't doing it for me. I need a new spice. Paprika? No. Give me danger or give me suffering. That is the best spice.
You literally
Yeah.
pay out the ass just for danger.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
Just honestly, probably eating like a whole Domino's pizza is more danger to your life than the fugu ever was. You know what I mean? Like the cholesterol risk is probably way higher.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
And it's
And it didn't
cheaper.
take the pizza chef 10 years.
And
It
it
probably took it
tastes
10
better.
minutes.
Like I just don't like us human beings. We're just so fucking weird. Why are we obsessed with this shit? I just don't get it.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have a problem with eating like a weird part of an animal
If
if
you
we also
utilized it.
used the rest of the
And it
animal.
wasn't cruel. If it wasn't cruel.
If it, if it was killed humanely and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and if we
Like-
actually make use of the animal.
Yeah,
then
that's why I like how like the Japanese use like animals like cows or
Yeah.
like chickens or like fish, for example.
I realize
because
the
we
irony
use
of-
every single part of the animal,
Yeah.
right? We don't let
Yeah.
anything go to
I
waste.
realized the irony of me being like, fucking intestines. But okay. Listen.
At least they're not chucking that shit out, you know?
Hey, I better to eat it. Listen, I've eaten it before. It's fine. I just wouldn't go to a restaurant, all right?
Yeah.
Before you fucking tell me double standards. Right? I'll eat everything. I just won't be happy about it a lot of the time, all right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm firmly of the mindset of like, I'm willing to kill every animal I'm willing to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
But also, it's interesting because the cultural differences, right? Of
Yeah.
like the animals that they're willing to eat.
Oh, of course.
Like, horse, very uncomfortable to talk about because people don't like talking about how the fact that Japan eats raw horse.
Why you got to do jam like that?
It's available in a lot of izakayas. You can
Yeah,
go
it
to a
is.
normal fucking bar.
And you
but,
just there's like horse sashimi that you can get as well.
Yeah.
Like
There are
raw
izakayas.
horse.
Oh, that's
there,
yeah, that's a normal
there
one.
are izakayas like dedicated to horse.
Yeah.
very odd.
Yeah.
And that's one that I find that when I mention it on like streams and stuff, people have a really tough time getting over that one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, when you hear like shark fin, that's the silly thing that other people do in other countries. Not
Yeah.
like, horse? What? They're so cute. Again, we've spoken about this before. It's all branding. Horses are cute. That's why we get sad about it.
If sharks were cute, you'd feel sorry for
No,
them.
shark.
Yeah.
Okay, shark. I think sharks are cute. I
A
like
lot
sharks.
of people don't.
Sharks can be pretty cute.
lot of
They
people
can-
don't.
I mean, as long, it's... They also have bad PR, Fucking Jaws
No.
brought... Like,
They get the
Jaws
most
brought,
PR.
like... Jaws brought shark PR, like, through the fucking dirt, man. If sharks could sue... Yo, fucking Steven Spielberg better be like sweating, man. He ruined shark images for decades, no, centuries even.
Jaws does not represent us. How dare you? This is a stereotype. I will not stand for this.
There's obviously a great question of like, well, obviously, chickens are farmed in like giant things. Like, yeah, I get that, all right. But at least I'm not fucking throwing it back in the water and drowning it after it take its feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right? It's like it's hard to police that shit because it's like, oh, people always throw
It's
out
not
like
like-
the culture, play card. Be like, what? We've been eating this
Listen,
last century.
you can be as picky as you want with this and go down any step. You can be like, well, you threw away some fries. You didn't eat them all. Like, you're so wasteful. Fuck you. Yeah. I hate you.
It's like, where do you draw the line then in terms of like trying like animals?
All I know is that you shouldn't fucking chop a part of the animal off and throw it back in the water and let it die. I think we can all agree on that.
It's like if I'm gonna eat an animal, I want to eat and I want them to utilize the most
as much of it,
much of the animal as possible, so that like there is little to no waste
and no suffering.
Yeah.
If you want to go deep into that rabbit hole, you can go really deep, and the whole stuff you can see online is horrible.
Yeah,
and that's how vegetarians and vegans are.
But also, I want to sleep at night. So
yeah, exactly.